Hello, and welcome to the Daily Almanac for September 30th. So, let's get started.
First day in history!
On this day in history, September 30th, 1847, Vermont Congressman George Perkins Marsh delivered a speech about farming in New England. Now, this speech was a major force in the conservation movement. Marsh knew that human activities could destroy the environment. He encouraged people to take better care of the environment around them and to improve it where needed. Also, on this day in 1882, the first hydroelectric power plant in the U.S. was opened on the Fox River in Appleton, Wisconsin. Powered by a water wheel, it provided enough electricity to power 180 lights. And on this day in 1949, the Berlin airlift came to a halt. The airlift was started when the Soviet Union blocked off West Berlin by road and water. The Soviets hoped that the blockade would force the Allies, the United States, Great Britain, and France, to abandon West Berlin. The Allies responded with the Berlin airlift, which brought West Berlin food and fuel by airplane. During the around-the-clock airlift, some 277,000 flights were made. The Soviets eventually lifted the blockade.
Onward Power!
Today on Word Power, I am going to express my opinion about a certain phrase. I am going to put my 2 cents in. Oh, and that's the phrase, put my 2 cents in. It's often used when you're talking or arguing with people and you want to make a point. Before making the point, to get everybody ready to listen, you might say, let me put my 2 cents in. And then you go on to say what you have to say. The phrase has an interesting history. It comes from the card game poker. Before cards are dealt, everyone has to put a small amount of money into the center of the table. If you don't put the money in, you can't play. In order to join the game, you had to put your 2 cents in. Actually, when people began using the phrase, it was a little different. It was put your 2 bits in. But over time, the phrase changed to what it is today. So now I guess I put my 2 cents in about putting my 2 cents in. Make sense?
Extremes.
Today on Extremes, we ask, what creature has the biggest eye? The answer is the giant squid. The giant squid's eye is dinner plate size, about 10 inches across or 25 centimeters. The giant squid's eye is as large as a human head and 10 times the size of the human eye. Amazingly, though, the squid's eyes are similar to ours. Both squids and humans have eyes with single lenses, pupils, irises, and retinas.
Health tips.
Hearing is one of the most important senses, but you can hurt your hearing if you listen to really loud sounds for too long. Even 15 minutes can do damage. Noise is considered too loud if you have to shout to make yourself heard. Now, here are some things that you and your family can do to reduce noise. Turn down the volume on your television. Turn down the volume on your radios, CDs, and iPods. And if you're going to be near loud sounds for a long time, try to wear earplugs to protect your hearing. The Declaration of Independence represents the official first step towards the separation of the 13 colonies from the control of Great Britain. It contains some basic ideas about people and government, reasons to be free of British rule, and complaints about the British king. In June of 1776, as Thomas Jefferson was composing a draft of the Declaration of Independence, the largest invasion force in British military history was headed for New York Harbor. By the time the last of the 56 signers had signed their names to the final document months later, British soldiers had landed at Staten Island, the British had taken New York City, and the Americans had committed themselves to a long and bloody struggle for liberty and independence. Well, that's all the time we have left today for Daily Almanac. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you tomorrow.